All right, so I guess let's go ahead and get into to Boat Boy Boogie. What is it? What is Boat Boy Boogie?
Oh man, okay.
Boat
Boy Boogie was I'm not going to say the name, but I was going into the military and I was talking to a particular girl at that time.
Yeah.
And she was like, you're not going to stop music? And I was like, nah, why? She was like, I mean, you're going into the military. Like, I mean, that's something more solid. Why would you play around with the dream aspect of something? And I was like, because music's what I truly love. And at that time I went into the military, it was like a backup plan. Yeah. Like that was the gorgeous killer mindset. I was adopting a bad mindset because times were hard. I needed money. I was about to hit the block. Like I said, a friend, anybody who knows me closely knows what I'm talking about.
I think you spoke about that a little bit on, was it the midpoint?
It was the midpoint. It was on the Tyler, the Creator beat. So a friend of mine didn't put me on out of pure love, told me to wait, and it ended up being a great decision. The Navy called, I went into the reserves. And but so that was the start of Boat Boy Boogie. And then when I went to boot camp, I was like, if music's still in my heart after I come out of boot camp, then I know it's truly meant for me. I was writing songs in boot camp. I wrote the majority of the midpoint while I was in boot camp. And so I came back and finished it up. So pretty much Boat Boy Boogie is like here in Virginia they call, oh, you're a boat boy, you know what I mean? But I'm a boat boy that has rhythm, you know what I mean? So the boogie aspect. And then for Boat Boy Boogie, it's like songs from the 60s and the 70s. It's heavy samples.
There's a lot of samples.
Heavy samples, so it's kind of like a wordplay thing, and it's also a manifestation of, you know what I mean, you can have your day job, but you can have your dream as well. And I learned this from you. You said if you didn't have any bills to pay, I think you said it to your kids, what would you be doing? And for me, it's music. So Boat Boy Boogie is pretty much reflective. When you see some of the album artwork, it'll show a time where I'm kind of choosing, like, do I chase the dream or do I go for something more solid? And I chose to chase the dream because growing up in maturity, I realized that nothing can last if you're not truly happy with it. I've seen people with millions of dollars be unhappy, and I've seen people with humbler lifestyles be a lot more vibrant people because they were truly happy with where they at. So it comes down to the choice of whatever you're doing, are you happy? Could you do it if it was raining, sleet, snow, you know what I mean? Could you do it day in, day out, forever? And the only thing I really feel about that before it was football is music. And that's pretty much
that bridge with the Navy where it's
it was pretty much,
I want to go Navy
or do I want to do music? And a lot of Boat Boy Boogie was at the time where I was first entering in, and different experiences growing up, you know, well, not growing up, but going through the Navy and continuing. Like, I wasn't full Navy, I was a reserve, so I got a lot of the civilian life and a lot of the military life as well. So that's a mesh of that.
And so Boat Boy Boogie's been in the works for a while, to the point where I got some instrumentals on there.
Yeah.
I want to say, how many songs do I have that I did some instrumentals?
4 to 5. I got the track listing upstairs, but Boat Boy Boogie, it happened at an intricate time. I had to get humbled again, and pretty much that shift from a gorgeous killer to a godly king, you'll see it's a split. Like after track 5, I'm calling myself a godly king. So before then I was having hard times. I went in the military, things picked up, but I kind of like regressed in my spiritual state. And I had started kind of adopting I was at the shipyard. I felt like I was making a lot of money. I became more cocky, more arrogant, was blowing a lot of money and wasn't really doing what I was supposed to do at that time. And that's when God came in with that, that slap. Like, you
You
you are. A lot of my checks, I was making like $800 a week. You know what I mean? Staying with my mom, ended up getting my own crib. I was very arrogant, had a lot going. I was blowing money on going out to the club, Hennessy, every weekend, like just wilding out every weekend because I knew I was gonna get it right back, like the next Wednesday. So a lot of the times where I had the money to complete Boat Boy Boogie, I didn't do it. It went to the wrong thing. So I had all those things taken from me. Matt Bama went through a very humbling stage where I didn't have a lot of money. Things were at my dispense. I was working a lot of jobs just to make ends meet. And it took a while to recover from that. So it was like from 2014 to now, pretty much from 14 to 16, I couldn't even really think about music. You know what I mean? I had to make ends meet and just provide. And so I got back on my feet, and dropping a tape like Boat Boy Boogie that has the significance that it has, it's nothing to drop a track. If you see throughout my track list, I could drop tracks month in, month out like we're doing now. But to put a project together is something totally different. And Boat Boy Boogie is my first all original project, and I kind of jumped in with it like eyes wide shut, like not knowing anything, not having a budget, not knowing how much things were gonna cost, anything. So Boat Boy Boogie was definitely a learning experience in the physical sense and in the spiritual sense. And it's finally coming back to a point now where I'm pinning the pieces to actually complete the vision. You know, a lot of things I was trying to do, I didn't even have the team that I have now, you know what I mean, to even complete it. I was still trying to find beat makers, still trying to find a lot of different pieces to put things together. Because at first I was just jacking beats off YouTube. So, you know, it was free, it was nothing. But when you actually got to pay the Kinos and the Markells, it's a different element.
And I think that's what separates, your top tier artists from your hobbyists. Is like you're saying, all original project where you have all original instrumentals. You have an engineer mixing and mastering it. It's not something that you just I'm gonna snatch a beat from YouTube,
right on it,
and just record it,
put it out there,
and then drop it. And I know you said you had a lot of some people contribute to the project. Who else is? Who else has contributed to the project? It's
pretty everybody at Radio Ready Records. JB, Kino, they were the only two that did production and engineering on it. If I'm not Classic, Markel Bunch. I call him Classic all the time. Classic Mark B. You visuals and beats, because you were making beats at that time as well. So that's pretty much the top four people. I have a couple of interludes from my family because it's very reflective. My mom's on the interlude. Sam, my roommate, my college roommate, is on an interlude. Melvin, Sammy F. Baby, you know what I mean? Melvin, who's been there through a lot of the music, to always be like, hey man,
he was a part of Smile.
Bro, he's been there for a while. Just like, man, I see you rapping now. Just keep going, don't give up, you know what I mean? And the joke between me and Melvin is, he was like, man, you rap like you thinking about it. He was the one that kind of gave me my snarl. And he said, grab your balls. Like, that's exactly what he said. When you go, like, he said, grab your balls on the track. He's like, you kind of rap timidly, you know what I mean? And then after he said that to me, I had to snarl then, you know what I mean? Because at first I would just kind of like talk my lyrics. But then that's when I was able to like, I guess, emotion. Exactly. You know what I mean? Push my emotions out on the music. He sparked that. So pretty much, man, my family, friends, people that was in my life at that time, they all inspired the vision.
Okay. And shout out to Mel, man.
Yeah.
Cause I remember that monotone.
Yeah. I was like,
I remember that.
And then like before then, like I think he had told me that, what was it? On Just Because It's Fall. That's a throwback one. And then like Hottest Winter Ever is when the snarl came. And that's when I first had mentioned Gorgeous Killer, bro. Okay. Yeah, that's one of the so and so. That was the first time I developed that swag, and it kind of carried out throughout all the tracks after that.